Hi, everybody. Welcome to our podcast. My name is Chandler Jessup, and I'm going to be speaking with Paradise Bradford today, who is the founder and the CEO of Pretty Passionate Hands. So, Paradise, will you just go ahead and introduce yourself? Tell us a little bit about yourself, and then we'll launch into the organization.
Of course. So my name is Paradise Bradford, and I am the founder and the CEO of Pretty Passionate Hands. I am also Chandler's coworker. We are doing amazing things at Pretty Passionate Hands. Pretty Passionate Hands was started because I am a teen mom myself, and I wanted to create a space for teen mothers and fathers that are 12 to 18 that can't go to other resources in our community, but have a place that they can come that looks close to home for them and their children, and can learn all the tools that they need to learn while there. And thank you for coming alongside of me during this journey into creating this space for our young youth. And can you introduce yourself, because they need to know who you are?
Absolutely. So like I said in the intro, my name is Chandler Jessup. I am Paradise's, right-hand woman at this point. I am our organizational development coordinator. So I'm finishing up my degree at Indiana University, studying management and civic leadership, getting my bachelor's in public affairs, minoring in criminal justice and in global and international affairs. So I kind of dabble in a couple of different avenues. So I met Paradise, fell in love with her organization, was really inspired, and wanted to come right along.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
And it has been a pleasure with you being here as we're growing and all the great things that are happening. But it's great when you actually get to walk alongside with me like I do with the children, and you can see your side of your work to pour into the organization is to be there to help stabilize us and sustain us and make sure that we grow. But it's a lot of on the ground work that goes unnoticed unless you're walking side by side with our teenagers, and it really looks different than, we want to help them and support, but it is a struggle behind the scenes being that help and support. So I truly thank you for jumping in and being the amazing person that you have been for the org, but I look forward to how you're going to build the infrastructure so we can sustain and last long for our teen parents. So thank you.
Thank you. It's been it's been a really inspiring journey so far, and I guess that's a perfect segue into what we're going to talk about, which is the organization itself. So what inspired you to, apart from being a teen mother, was there a defining moment or any other personal experience that made you want to form Pretty Passionate Hands?
Well, yes. That would have been in 2014. I actually was in IWP, which is the prison here in Indianapolis. I was there, and I had got placed in a cell with the lifer. And it was getting down to my time where I was going to be released in 2015, and I was wondering, what's next? And she actually asked those words out maybe 2 or 3 days into my stay with her. She's like, what are you going to do when you go home? And I was like, I'm going to get my kids back. I'm going to pick myself up, and hopefully things were where they was 3 years ago before I got here. Just thinking hypothetically like things were going to just be normal again when I got home. And I thought about how I got there. And it was being an unsupervised teen parent that was put out of my parents' house because I thought that I knew it all. And my mother and father took the initiative to say, okay, maybe we can let you see how it really is. And back in 2006, it was so easy to be emancipated. They emancipated me. And I thought I had all the tools in my box that I can do this. Who can tell me what not to do at 15 years old and pregnant? And so I had enough reasoning with myself and what I wanted to do that the courts thought it was okay to emancipate me. So they did. And even with being a 16-year-old emancipated mother, there was still places that I couldn't go and get help. They were strict on you had to be 18 years old. So when I went to food banks or to sign up for things, they were like, we need your guardian. And I'm like, I'm emancipated. And they were like, well, our rules are you have to be 18 or have a guardian. And, when you're going through the pains and growing of making a transition like this and letting your family down, but them also having to take the high road to say, okay, you want to be an adult, go ahead and go on your own. My mom and them, I still felt the burden of like, I can't go back and ask them to come help me by taking me here and signing the paper. So I had to maneuver through those things. And between those, it started with being looking for different men to be that support. So I am a mother of 7. I have 7 children's fathers. And during that journey, it created a lot of trauma, a lot of pain, suffering, a lot of lessons that was learned, and then a lot of courage, and also created the woman I am today. And so with all that being said, that is how Pretty Passionate Hands was created. And it was created in that prison cell where I had to reflect on, how did I get here? That's how I got there. Yeah. But how was I going to fix and not come back to this place is where we created this 6-segment program, I would say, where we have the basic needs that every individual needs. Then we have the mental health, the well-being of yourself, your health and wellness. Then what do we do after that? After we're knowing what we need, after we are feeling good about what we need, how do we face the world? We have to know how to communicate. Yeah. You got to know how to speak to others, to ask for that help, to be able to navigate the community. So communication is one of our areas, and then workforce development or education. And so that's where, I went into having your GED, figuring out where you're going to go back to school and do all these great things to build sustainability. But then we move into, what does sustainability look like for us? Home ownership? Is it stable housing? Is it, career-based and whatnot? But that is how Pretty Passionate Hands was born. And so thank you.
That is so inspiring.
And so that is where it started. That is all of that nicked in. So you have to stay tuned to kind of see how we break it down and what makes sense in all those areas. But that is where it started, and that's where my passion was. But the very day that the light went off was in 2022, when my stepfather passed away from a sudden heart asthma attack. Thank you. And when he did, I kind of felt lost at that moment. COVID had just passed, and I had my last child, and I still was like, God, I know there's a purpose for me, but I'm not really sure, like, what is it really that is going to fill me up? Because my dad was who felt me up. He was my stepfather. He felt me up. He encouraged me. Even when I made mistakes, he's like, you can do this. Like, there's nothing you can't do. And that was what was very important to me. And it was just having that one person that never gives up. And either when I'm right and wrong, he would say, you aren't right, but I know that girl that's down in there that knows that you're wrong. So you're going to handle that yourself. And I'm going to let you punish yourself and sleep with that. But I'm disappointed. And that was one of the key things for me, that I had to know that I wasn't going to let him down. So when he passed away, I prayed a lot, and I was just like, what am I going to do, God? Because I am lost. And at this point, I think I'm broken. And I don't think that this girl can be fixed after this. And I was volunteering for an organization called Women in Motion. And I was actually volunteering there because they were letting me do once a week shops for Pretty Passionate Hands, where we were doing, once a month workshops for Pretty Passionate Hands. And I was just trying to grow it. And that's where I was trying to figure out. And she's like, just come on over here and whatever. And so the job I was working at that time was administrative assistant. Didn't go very well after my dad passed. And so I ended up letting that position go. Then 1 year later, my brother was murdered. And that was the all be all for me. And I was ready to check out. Yeah. And so once that happened, I knew I was done then. And I literally had to talk with God, like, I don't want to do this anymore. And being at that church, which we are where our workspace is. Thank you, New Circle. That door had opened for us to be able to have a rental space there. They were like, hey, we got some space for rent if anybody knows anybody. And I was like, I don't think that I would be in this situation right now if this wasn't for me. So, of course, I had no money. And I'm all like, oh, I'm just going to go inquire about this. Yeah. Let me go see how much this costs. I don't have anything but this smile because, I'm special, right? So I go over there and I'm like, how much is it? And they're like, it's like $1,000 a month. And I'm like, I don't know if I can do that, but can we do half the room? How much is half the room? Because I'm like that. I'm like, listen, if it's for me, it's for me. And if your closed mouth don't get fed, so you ask her what you want. So I'm like, how much is half the room? And they looked at me and was like, okay. And half the room was what we got. And we started there. And I was wondering, like, how are you going to get this half a room? I was building my board. So I'm telling people, like, I just need you guys to give me $100 a month from everybody. That's all I need from the board is $100 a month because the doors will be open. And as I was doing that, the Women's Fund, shout out to the Women's Fund, reached out to me and gave me a $5,000 opportunity grant. And that is when the grounds broke, or the ribbon or the shovel or whatever you want to call it cracked for Pretty Passionate Hands. And that's where we was created. Wow. And today we are who we are. And
that's
you see where
so
we are.
Neat. Oh my gosh, what an inspiring story.
Thank you.
And to be completely candid, I had not heard any of that before this. So that was like absolutely stunning for me. Just, yeah, you're just such an inspiration.
Thank you.
And yeah, I'm just so honored to work with you. Speaking of Pretty Passionate Hands, what inspired you to use that name? What does that symbolize? And how did that come about?
So, you know what? Everybody asked me this question, and I really had a story when I first thought about it. And then it kind of, you know, you get a lot of things on your hand. Like you have 7 kids, you can't remember all the names. You forget like how your baby grew. And that's kind of what happened with this. But what I do know is that I have been a person that is always the 1%. And one thing I do believe is what you do with your hands is what represents you. I've been in places and had jobs that I did not qualify for, but because I have passion in the work that I do, that is what has gotten me where we are. And so when I was thinking about, they were like, what are you gonna, what's your branding color? What are you gonna do? What's all these things, your logo? I'm like, I don't know what these people are talking about, but we're gonna figure it out. So I went with Pretty Passionate Hands because everything you do in this world, if you look at our logo as well, the logo is my hands holding the world. And in the side of the logo are my 7 children. And at the top of the logo is my daughter, and she's an angel. She passed away in 2010, and her name is Andreana. So everybody who knows how passionate I am about Safe Sleep, Andreana passed away from SIDS, undetermined, and she was the reason why I felt like the whole world had already been in my hand. I have been through everything. So that's where the world comes from. And then it's my babies. And Pretty Passionate Hands is just, it represents the things that I do, which you can see my nails are done. I don't do a lot of girl. You know me. I'm not I don't do all the girls thing. Self-care. Everybody say, what do you do for yourself? I take care of my nails. So my logo is very intentional. It's my hand holding the world. And as long as you are passionate about the work you do and put it in your hands, because that's what we use, you know, or whatever you have to use to do that, you symbolize. That's where the hands come from. Pretty Passionate Hands wraps up around there. I'm getting sidetracked, you know my thing. It comes from there, and then my children are in the logo. But yeah, doing the work, it's putting my passion in my hands and creating a space where no matter where you are or who you are, if you come in and do the work, as you can vouch for me on this, I tell people, what are you great at? What are you passionate about? And what can you do without it causing you any stress effortlessly? That's what you're passionate about, and that's where Pretty Passionate Hands come from.
Wow, I love that.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I've always seen the logo and have thought, I'm like, oh, there are 7 children on there. She has 7 kids. I love this.
That's it.
I love that. That's amazing.
Our branding color comes from Andreana too. I want to make sure I always keep forefront. I am my world revolves around my children. They are who that all I have, and they mean a lot to me. And we chose lavender as the branding color, not only because of what lavender stands for, but when I thought about it deeply, it brings the representation of my daughter who passed with us at all times. But I had looked through all of her pictures when I was just thinking about how can I bring her and have her a part of this organization. And when she was a baby, all of her baby pictures, she wore lavender. And so that's where I stuck with lavender. But then after really Googling what logos and brands mean, it just resonated with everything we do. Take a deep breath, peace, calmness.
It's very calming.
All of that great stuff. So it was already created before I even knew. Because black is my favorite color, obviously. Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
So, yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. So then what was the organization's first program?
The first program was the Teen Mentorship Program.
Nice.
Yeah, and all we wanted to do, honestly, is just bring them all together to have a place to talk.
Yeah.
And to I just wanted to show some of those pains that I still suffer with as a mother, but only to know a teenager to suffer with these has to be somewhere where they can go and be heard. Not always how we can fix it, but what do you need? So I created a space where they can just come and ask and not feel like they're bothering anybody or somebody to say, you did this to yourself, you figure it out.
Wow. Yeah.
And so that was the first program. It was just basically us just getting together, eat, and then tell me all of y'all business. I need to know everything so I can go find a place and fix it. You know, I'm nosy. So that's the first program. It was basically just us sitting together.
Neat.
Nothing added to it. I had collected donations in my garage, and I would haul them from my trunk all the way to group, diapers, whatever it was, and they would have the opportunity to choose whatever they wanted and dig through the things that they could use, and we would eat. and sometimes we don't even do anything, just like we do today. We might just need to come and be chilling and just rest. But that's how it created the same thing that I stand on, the same core values, and the vision of the program remains the same. Sometimes we will learn, and sometimes we just need to get together. So whatever the vibe is for the moment, that's just what it's been for us. Mm-hmm.
So neat. And then, so for everyone listening, will you walk through all the different programs that Pretty Passionate Hands has and allows teen parents to participate in?
So our core program is the teen mentorship program, where we support 12 to 18-year-old teen mothers and fathers. We support them with their basic essential needs. So just providing mentorship and guidance to make sure they have what they need before, during, and after their pregnancy. So if that looks like a 15-year-old mom comes and she's 6 months pregnant, we want to make sure that she knows who her doctor is, that she's on WIC, that she's getting the nutritions that she needs, that she has the proper clothing, the proper bra, that she's in the proper environment. Maybe she needs a pregnancy pillow. Some of us carry, heavier or whatnot. Making sure that she knows that if it's resources that she needs, like just simply toothbrushes and toothpaste, we have that for her as well. During that time when we're creating, making sure they're comfortable, we're also installing the tools with them. And that comes into our mentorship program, where we teach them about parenting, gentle parenting, communication. We want to ask them questions about their child's fathers or their child's mother, their family situation, their living situation. And then we build up into, what does it look like for school? Are you currently in school? Are you needing to return back to school? And then we have also recently created where we do GED testing on site for our parents. So are you needing that support to get enrolled? What does it look like for you? And then after that, we are also looking towards, what does the future look like for you? If we get a parent that comes in and they already have these tools in their toolbox, then what does it look like? Is it home ownership? Are you trying to get into career, or are you wanting to go back to school? And how can we assist in those areas? Those are our on-the-ground core programs, but we also have our wraparound services, which is in the summertime, where we do great things with our families. And we try to provide a summer program so that they can do things they haven't had the access to, or won't be able to have access to without our program. So we can expose them so that their child has these things in their mom's toolbox and say, you know what? Hey, I went to driving school. I want that for my kid. Hey, during the summer, we went to the water park in Carmel. It doesn't have to be out of town, but just knowing these are the things we did every summer that our children don't forget. So we want to collect those tools, put them in their toolbox as well. And so one of the creative things that we do for our teenagers that are doing well in a program is we offer the driving school for them. They go to driving school for 2 weeks during the summer, and we look for donors during that time to adopt them, that if they are in good standings and they're almost 18 or approaching 18 or in a good situation, we will donate a vehicle to them so that they have sustainable, reliable transportation for them and their child to lift that barrier. Some of the other programs that we have is our CPR classes that we train them to be efficient to take care of their child in case of an emergency. We teach our moms and dads about credit, financial wealth. We just partner with Old National Bank to give some of those classes to our parents. And our number one tool that I take pride in is home ownership. We offer our teen mothers and fathers the opportunity to take a home ownership class. So by their 21st birthday, they are homeowners, break into generational wealth, and have a sustainable future and living space for them and their child.
So neat.
And you can add on anything if I missed, which I'm sure I did. But we have our newly renovated licensed food pantry that we just offer for our teen parents. But we've been offering our diaper pantry and clothing pantry since the day we opened, where they have unlimited access, and all of our programs are free. They have unlimited access to their basic essential needs. So I'm very happy about that. And then I guess I did miss one thing. Our key facility that we have for our teen parents is our Teen Hub House, where they're able to come. Everything is free and on site for them. They can come and rest. They can take a shower. They can sleep in their own area with them and their child. They can spend time with me and Miss Chandler. They can spend time with each other. They can cook on site. We're in the midst of beautifying our place, but they will be able to utilize the space as their own full time to meet their own needs, where it's just a space for them. And that is what Pretty Passionate Hands is all about, creating that space just for them and their children.
And then will you briefly touch on the Our Sisterhood program and the A Father and Me program as well?
Absolutely. So a lot of people ask what happens when our teenagers turn 18. When they are 18, we have a program that's called Our Sisterhood. And most of the time, our goal is for our teenagers to be at 18 sustainable. So if they move over to our sisterhood program where they are there until they're 24. That's where we're pushing more into the career-based, the home ownership program, and make sure that they are sustained. And so the program is the same. We just push them a little bit harder to reach those goals because now we are adults and we're responsible for each step there. We do our weekly mentorship check-ins with them. That program is really pushed at what they pour in is what they get out.
Absolutely.
And so with that being said, they have to create their own long-term goals and they have to focus strongly on those, and we're there to help them there. Our fatherhood program is a group for our fathers who are between the ages of 12 and 18 as well. They go up to 24 after they turn 18. But this fatherhood group is specifically for the mental health of our dads, because we do have full-time dads who are taking care of their children, who have guardianship, and we want to let them know that they matter. And I think what goes unnoticed is a lot of people forget that fathers do become single fathers, and it is hard for them to go down to the welfare office or know the tools that women sometimes are naturally capable of having the resources laid out in front of them, that they have the right to go and apply for those things as well. So we try to take away the insecurity that they may feel and have them in their own space where they can talk to dads who are divorced or who went through separation or who are single fathers. They have that support in that group for them to know that it's okay to ask when you're a dad. It's okay to cry, and the weight is heavy. And being a single father, the weight is even heavier because you have to be strong. And we look at our dads like, oh, they don't cry. It's a burden. And that we want to make sure that they know that it's okay. And we're here, and it's more people like you.
Yeah. It's hard enough, like with the world right now, breaking the stigma of toxic masculinity and really teaching those teen dads that it's okay and that you don't have to have it all figured out. We can help teach you how to be a man.
Absolutely.
And do that sensitively. So
in a fatherly manner. A lot of people think that fathers, when you're a mom, you got to be the teacher, the disciplinary, the nurturer and stuff. But what happens when dad has to take on that full time?
Exactly.
And it can be hard for dad because sometimes dads are not supposed to look like the sensitive one. But when you're a single father, you have to wear the caps of being all that. I know I suffer a lot with being the mom, but I always wanted to be the gentle mom and, let's read together. But no, I'm definitely, when I look at you one time, that's what I meant. I'm that mom. So yeah, so just having dads understand that it's okay. You're going to cry. I know I cry. And if a dad didn't tell me, I need to know what playbook he's using for this fatherhood thing, because I definitely need it. So.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Shifting gears just a little bit, what long-term vision do you have for the organization locally and even beyond?
Great question. What I have vision for Pretty Passionate Hands is to make sure that we are accessible to all teen parents. I want to make sure that we're accessible in the rural area, in our community, and of course nationwide. They need to see all these lavender flowers and houses popping up in our community. But what I see for us is that we live long, because teen pregnancy is not going to go away. Absolutely. What's going to happen is there are going to be more children that suffer if we don't build more community around the teen parents to know that it's okay. It hurts and it's embarrassing and we're in denial. But at the end of the day, the teen pregnancy, we outgrow it. Look at me. I'm 35 years old. I'm still a teen mother. That identifies me, but it's about what happens in the future.
Exactly.
Is what makes that teen mother who you were as a teen mom. And so I just want to make sure that Pretty Passionate Hands stays in our communities to give our mothers and fathers the confidence to know we made a mistake at 15, at 17, at 13. We do that. It's about what we do with those mistakes. And they can't do it alone, because no teenager is supposed to know what to do at 13 years old anyways. But to become a parent is very scary. So we want to make sure that they can come to a door that is non-judgmental, leave their problems at the door, and us figure out what do we do to get past this the best we can, because our futures have already been put where they are. Yeah. Let's place the future for our child. Let's build it. And if you have someone that's opening the door and saying anything that you can dream of, anything that your mind can reach, just reach for the stars. It's possible. And it may not be in your own home. It may not be your neighbor or your grandparent, but Pretty Passionate Hands is here for that. Absolutely. That's my vision for this to grow into that, to where every child sees us and knows that place either changed my life, it changed my mother's life, or it changed somebody that I know that was over me as a teen parent. And I see us growing to be all around the world. I want to reach every teen parent there is. And there's teen parents all around the world. And we all make mistakes as children. And there should be someone who cares when we do that, to not push us away, but guide us. And that is what my vision is to guide every unguided and unsupervised teen parent to know that you can shift the narrative.
Absolutely.
And we are here with you. It takes one person, 1%. And I want them to always remember that one person you come connect with. If it's us being your one person, believe me, we care less about how this happened. We want to make sure that the future is bright and that you just stop, take a breath, and let us handle it from there.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a very non-judgmental space. It's babies raising babies. So just communicating that message in a healthy way and communicating how they can move on from that.
And be proud of themselves.
Yeah.
There's no shame in it.
Absolutely.
Like I tell them all, if you don't know, you don't know. If you're
Absolutely.
born in an environment where it looks normal, that's all you know. But when you come to a place and we're filling your toolbox and you're open to really understand and say, this is the way it's supposed to be. Not that it's the right way, but just the right way that society says we should raise ourselves and our children. When you are acceptable for that, that's all that we can give you. And it doesn't work with everybody. And that's okay, because the light didn't go on for me until 30. So with some of my moms and dads, we have lived in environments. We've been raised in those environments. We're not here to change anything. We're just here to give a vision that may look different. And if we can give you access to these things, what does that look like for you? If I sit here and I tell you I've been through it, I have 7 children. I have 7 children's fathers. Does it look different for you with one child than it's going to look for 7? They all come out the same. They all do the same thing. It's just with age, they change and they become different parts of who your genes are. But it makes no difference, nor if it's 1 or if it's 10 of them.
Absolutely.
If you don't create an environment and if you don't have the tools to flourish them in an environment that changes from what we were raised in, we won't break the cycle.
Exactly.
And my goal is to break the cycle. I'm not saying that you can't get married and have a family of 15. I wanted a huge family myself, but we have to put our kids in an environment that they thrive in.
Absolutely.
And teen pregnancy didn't happen because of our environment all the time. But at the end of the day, we didn't have guidance, because good, positive decision making comes from your atmosphere.
100%.
And I believe in that. I'm not saying that every teen parent came in a bad environment or judging anybody there. But what I do know is that we have to know how to make the right choices.
Absolutely.
And that is what we need, and that's what we want to create. And so when it comes down to that last sentence there, we just created our program for prevention. So wanting to be able to guide our community in all ways that we can, we have created a program where if you think that your child is sexually active or may be, going through those peer pressures and all the great things that happen in our schools, we have that opportunity where parents can come in and we can try to catch and advocate and bring awareness to their children in real timing with real situations with our teen parents. So that is one great program I did forget. So thank you for asking.
Absolutely. So as the founder and CEO, how do you manage that visionary leadership with the day-to-day operations?
With people like you, Chandler, it is really hard. I think that the thing that thrives me the most is that I know all the tears that I cried out here in this world by myself. I know that there was moments that if only one person or one door, where we even say like the library is an open place to go. If there was an open place for me to go at 17 with 2 of my children and say, I need help.
Yeah.
My vision of life would have looked so different.
Yeah.
Like I had to rebuild myself with my confidence, and to be able to be in this position to even share the things that I went through raising my children, and knowing that, it could be scary to some people. They'll say, oh, that's a CPS case. Well, that may be, but you know how many doctors I came in contact with that didn't see any problem with that? And so, I didn't know those things. So what thrives and what pushes me every day to make sure Pretty Passionate is who we are is that I want to make sure as a founder and as a CEO and as a promise to every family that I'm committed to is that our voice is advocated, that you cannot hold anybody accountable if they don't know. And what I strive to through and what keeps me pushing, I will continue to do. And people who know me and follow our organization know that I show up authentically me in every room to get the education I need to give back to my families, to give it to them in our language. And so one of the things I need to do and I will continue to do to thrive and to build our organization is to learn. I'm a lifetime learner, and I thrive to let others know that we are not to be fixed, but we are to be listened to. Absolutely. And then also be able to give us what we need so that we can thrive. We all thrive differently. Absolutely. You know, that's one of my things with us in Rolling when I tell each one of my parents, we're all on a different road. We're all headed the same way, but we're on a different road. And I think we're misunderstood. We're misunderstood as seeing, oh, it's a teen parent. I could never think that it would be like this. Some of our teenagers got it together.
Absolutely.
They are doing their thing, and I'm very, very proud of them. And I'm very proud of my recent teenager that they don't always need us to tell them what they do. They need somebody to just tell them, you're doing a great job. I need that today.
We're both thinking of the same one. We're both thinking of the same one.
The same one, and you're that person for me, you know?
So inspiring.
Very much so. So it's not all of them that need to be fixed. So my thing is just letting people know who we are and that we are a community.
Yeah.
And that we don't stand alone and to be shamed, that we do need our family, we need our community, we need our teachers to let us know that when we become that teen parent, don't always make us seem like we made a mistake, but say, hey, now you have a reason to do better. Like this is your reason to do the best that you can, because if you thought that the whole world failed you, or if you thought that anybody on this earth failed you, your child that you have created, you now have a reason.
Absolutely.
That is your reason, that is your purpose, that is your why, that you have to be the greatest you. And if you can have a program that can help transition that, why not?
Yeah.
Why not?
Absolutely. And I mean, yeah, just showing the teens that being authentic and just being who you are, that it's okay, that there's not a specific timeline that you need to have it all together by, is so important. And I feel like both you and I do a fairly good job at showing them that it is what it is.
It's acceptable. Like, it's okay.
I
appreciate you with that.
With the cards that you're dealt.
One thing I do appreciate with our organization is the diversity of them being able to sit at the table with different leaders.
Absolutely.
And also knowing that Miss Paradise is still broken and still that 16-year-old teen mom that's walking with them. And, you know, I cry with them a lot. And, you know, I always try to hand off things to you guys and the volunteers because it's a very emotional strain on me.
Yeah.
Because I feel like, why?
Yeah.
And that 15-year-old girl is sitting here screaming, and I'm screaming out loud. And the more and more girls that we get to call or come in the door, you know, I feel like it's our job to try to make sure we have everything and try to make sure that is there a right way to do it?
Yeah. And
so when I know that we're failing in the organizational side of there's just not enough pieces to put together to say, this is what they need. No, they don't. It's different for every girl that walks in.
Absolutely.
Everyone that we have these moments where we sit and we say, it's Monday.
Yep. We've had a few of those.
We don't know what this week is going to happen, but this is what we plan to happen. And yeah.
We just roll with the punches.
That's it. And so to be able to look at our girls and tell them the same thing. Girl, we got up this morning. I left the phone at Walmart and I did this and I did that. We still made it though. Like we made it and we only got an hour left, but we're going to make the best of it. Exactly. But to let them know it's the same thing. And one thing I always remind them is it's never going to get easier.
Exactly.
It's never going to get easier.
Exactly.
And me with a mother of 7 and you and your family hoping to grow, you and your husband, you know, and to become a mother, it's never going to change. And for them to see that from both sides, I think that's what makes us unique.
Absolutely.
And everybody that is in this organization is literally authentically their self.
Absolutely.
And I appreciate that from all of you guys.
Yeah.
And
I appreciate that from you.
I truly appreciate this from you. So, yeah.
So, kind of piggybacking off of that, how do you stay grounded? How do you stay motivated to want to keep this going?
I won't lie, I get burnt out a lot. I think I get burnt out from the pain because I'm feeling like, again, that 15-year-old girl that's screaming, we need help. Who is listening? And that is what burns me out the most with this job. It's not even the work that I do. It's me reaching out to the community.
Yeah.
It's me reaching out to the people who can truly support us. And when I see them supporting other areas that they think, I'm not saying those areas don't need help. I'm not saying that what they're doing is not correct, but I do believe you have to hear the people that you're serving, and you have to hear the people who are serving them that has been there. Not to say that all of these organizations have no purpose. My thing is that we got to be more intentional.
Yeah.
We got to be more intentional. You got to really come in and say, okay, I'm not just funding this organization, but let me go and do a 24-hour or maybe a 30 days with them. Mm-hmm. And then you'll understand that I don't have time to write in a grant exactly what's happening right here. Like, I'm crying on my way to work sometimes. And sometimes I'm ready to go knock on the door because I'm looking for my teen parent. And sometimes I don't have enough money to give her something to eat. And this pregnant teenager is telling me she's hungry because I'm going to have to worry about, I know I got to pay our rent and I got to do all these things this month. You know, I'm just very blessed for the people who do believe in us and who do support Pretty Passionate Hands and who do understand all the hard work that I put in. Yeah. And that is the reason why I keep going. And that is what I do for myself. And I know a lot of people will say, no, you have to do something for yourself. If I don't get up every morning and make sure that I take my pain and all the suffering that I did to go through that door every morning or sit at those tables, I would not be doing what my purpose is.
100%.
That is what pushes me to keep going. And I love everything that I do. This is the best job I've had. This is the best thing that God has created for me. I found a purpose in myself. So I wouldn't trade it for the world, and I wouldn't stop doing it if they put me back in the garage again or in the back of my car. I would still do it for my families, because every day that my teenagers walk through the door, I don't know what happens when they leave, but I know what'll happen if we close our doors.
Yeah.
So I continue, and I will continue to be Pretty Passionate Hands for them.
Yeah. How can listeners or potential partners get involved, whether that be teens, donors, professionals, or volunteers? How can our listeners get involved?
We are a call away, and we are always thriving and hoping for a change. We're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we're on anything you can think of. We come to our building. Yeah. You know, come to our office. We have our website. Again, we are a 2-woman army right now. So volunteers, media, financial, mentors. If you are a teen parent, come and see us. We want you to come to us to get the support. You're not asking us for anything. Everything that we do is for you guys, and you need to know that you're not alone. So that's the biggest thing, spreading the word and letting people know. Share our podcast. If you're on Instagram or on your Facebook, just share our link. We never know. Their silence is big in teen pregnancy. And so we get teenagers that I know they're scared to come back because they're worried about what their families are going to think, and I have to keep reaching out to let them know it doesn't matter, you're not alone. So that's one of the biggest things, is just letting people know this gym is here in our city, and you don't have to be a teen parent to be experiencing this. You're a teacher. You can be the doctor. Like, just share with them there's a place that cares and that doesn't judge and that can advocate for them. So
absolutely.
Yeah. And more people like you. Yep.
Thanks.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I guess one final question. If you could tell every teen parent listening right now one thing, what would it be?
I would tell them to put your child first. That when God blessed you to have a child, He gave you a superpower, and that just told you that at this young age that you are, that it is time for you to shine bright. It is time for you to do what a lot of people don't have a superpower to do, but you can give another child a life that you felt that you deserved, or you have the superpower to just be somebody great to a human that nobody can ever tell that person to feel about you. Like, it's a special thing, and it may have started early. You did not pick the wrong decision. It's just the wrong timing, but with all things possible, with Pretty Passionate Hands, with all of your support system around you, you can be whoever you want to be. You can overcome anything. And I mean, you're awesome. Like, you can do this. You can do this. You can be that 1%. And we are here to make sure that you can. So if I can tell them anything, I would say, don't give up. And you're special. You're loved. And we are just, we are special people.
Absolutely.
We are.
Absolutely. And if you're in the Indianapolis area, come see us. We want to see you thrive. We want to see the potential that you have and be able to flourish. So
Absolutely. And I just have one for you.
yeah.
What would you say? What would you do, Chandler? Tell me what you feel.
As a non-teen parent, and a person hoping to be a parent, just love your child with your full heart and soul. You may not see it right now that you are just the luckiest person in the world to be able to have a little baby and to be able to show them who you are, who their mom is, who their dad is, they're going to think you're the coolest person in the world. Mm-hmm. So do it for them. It's never too late. While I'm not a teen parent, I went back to school after 5 years away. So it's really never too late to do anything. And yeah, just be intentional. Continue to be intentional. That was way more than one thing, but
yeah, we can go on and on.
We can go on and on.
Yeah,
come see us and we'll tell you
all about
it.
So I just want you guys to know that Pretty Passionate Hands love you guys, and we're out here doing the work for each family, one child at a time, and we're here for everybody. And we are here for the wraparound services of the family. We're here to break generational curses, and it starts with our families at our tables. So thank you so much for this opportunity to have you here in this seat with me. I pray that you stay around, not for the wealth of Pretty Passionate Hands, but for the families that we serve, because 100%. You are a gem, and I conversate with them about you all the time. And one thing people need to know about me is that I think everyone that comes into this community. So you may not be a parent, you may not think that you don't have value, but there is a purpose for everybody that comes to this organization, and we need you because we want a village to take care of our families. And so thank you for being a part of my village.
Absolutely.
And I look forward to all the expertise you bring to help us flourish and to stay sustainable. And I want to thank you very much from the bottom of my heart.
You're gonna make me cry. Thank you. I'm very glad to be able to be a part of it, and then just it's so inspiring. So glad to be a part of it and along the way for the ride.
Alrighty.
Well, that wraps up our podcast for this session. Stay tuned. We're going to be doing a series with some of our teen parents as well. So we're super excited about that. And yeah, thank you so much for listening. And we can't wait to hopefully see you walk through our doors.